everybody, to the Critical Music Club number 77. It's the ALL-ROCKIN Roundtable, a chance for musicians, DJs, music writers, music lovers, and miscellaneous miscreants to meet and talk tunes. My name is Bo, and I'll be your host. Soul brothers, ghost women, classmates, monks, and tough lovers, raise your hands if you feel it. Today we're discussing the Critic list spirit songs. And for our discussion, hallelujah, it's two modern albums by groups out of Europe that take care of business, and their business is taking your ass and soul to the church of rock and roll. From the lineage of Ray Charles, Little Richard, Dr. John, and oddballs like Question Mark and Mysterians, they're taking the sonics of worship and worshiping the sonics into their own unique sounds. Out of London, England, this 10-person crew fills the pews with rotating singers taking the pulpit to sing what's described as prime gospel primitive blues, held together by an echo from space manned by a captain from the past opposite. It's the future shape of sound and their album, Shakedown Gospel. And out of Mannheim, Germany, you can file it under decent soulful garage punk, but it's so much more. Bursting from the reams of paper cover 45s by Bo Diddley and Bob Seger, along with their own scripted odes, the stars of Beetlejuice, Klaubacher and Godzilla's group is nothing to laugh at. It's Achtung Spitfire Schnell Schnell and their 2026 album, What's So Funny? To discuss the albums, we have members of both bands. From the future shape of sound, it's Captain Future Alex, and from Achtung Spitfire Schnell Schnell, Jens Klaubacher. Give him a round of applause. Yay! Fantastic, guys. Klaubacher, can you say your name? Just so I got it right?
Yeah, Klaubacher. That's right.
Klaubacher.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And do you prefer Jens for your first name? Jans?
Well, yeah, Jens is my real name. Klaubacher is my station name, right? So whichever.
Hey, well,
what's it stand for again? Outfit on. What Klaubacher, man? It stands for something, isn't it? Like, yeah. I mean, I speak German, but I forgot about.
You speak German? Yeah, it's a little ghost. It's a little ghost that helps. It's a legend thing. Helps ships get into the havens and stuff.
Into the harbor. The Klaubacher.
Yeah.
So what? Is it like a benign ghost?
I don't know.
Depends what ships it is and what harbor it is.
Actually, I got the name.
Strait of Hormuz is calling, I think, for you to get involved.
I got the name because it's a cock-up of my last name. So
we're not just going to sit here and watch you two guys dialogue. In fact, you guys are not alone. In fact, we have a whole roundtable of critics who have listened to your two albums, and I want you guys to get a chance to know the people that you're going to be hearing from. So we're going to be going through each person. I want you to please say your name, say the city that you're in, and something recently you've been involved with in the world of music. I don't need your full catalog and history, but just let me know something, a concert you attended, or a song you performed, or something that you're recording, whatever it is, no matter how big and how small, just something recent. So there you go. Let's start off with Dima.
Okay. Hello, guys. Nice to meet you all. And hello from Russia, East Siberia, deepest lake in the world, Lake Baikal. I am connecting with you from a little island in the middle of Lake Baikal. It's near Irkutsk city. And recently in the world of music, in my world of music, it happened that I bought this little instrument. It's metal. It's handmade thing from the west of Russia, Russian vargan. It's a mouth harp or jaw harp.
Jaw harp, yeah.
Like that. Kind of
big in Mongolian music as well.
Yeah. So actually, every nation, every local people in the world have this instrument. It can be from wood, it can be made from different things,
I got it.
But the best ones in the world are from Russia, Yakutia. It's from the north of Russia, where they even made these with the sound amplification, and it can be like distorted and stuff like that.
Okay, we don't need the full history. And Captain Future Alex has got one. Thank you very much, Nehemiah. Check it out. I look forward to seeing you soon. Hey, Lacey Eric, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How's it going? So I am sitting here in Beijing. Recently, what's been going on? Hot Piss played last weekend. We've got another show coming up on April 25th for those of you in Beijing. It's free at Shut Up Bar. And then this weekend, I'll start recording drums for Kids Factory for our little tangent punk band there. And yeah, that's what's going on.
Fantastic. Look forward to seeing you in early May, sir. David, sir.
Yeah, hi, I'm here in Shanghai, and I'm starting to play around with kalimba because I don't have an instrument that I play. So this one I thought maybe I could catch on to.
Fantastic. And you're listening to a lot of music recently, huh?
Yeah, that's been a great thing. You know, I stopped listening to music for a long time. I don't know why. Just got out of the habit, and the Critical Music Club has got me back into listening. It's just so joyful.
Oh, well,
Digging
fantastic.
out all my old
like
CDs and learning about things like Spotify. It's a
You're
whole
getting
new
hit,
world.
David. I dig it. I dig it. Someone who's surrounded by music all the time, Professor Nate.
And my many mute buttons here. So I'm the professor. I'm from Boston, and I guess right now I'm gonna enter performance week. Performance season. So I'm doing a bunch of performances all over the place, and I've got a bunch of students doing performances this week. So.
Fantastic. And out in Massachusetts. Very cool. And someone who's joining us for the first time, Evie.
Oh, hi. Thank you for the invitation. This is Mimi, and I'm natural born Chinese. And I'm living in Berlin right now. So, you might not know me, but except for DJ Bill, I play rockabilly and psychobilly in China, and he invited me to do this, little podcast. So, very happy to see you there.
Yeah, I sent
that as
the
a
white
DJ
bus.
or as a performer?
Performer. I'm a singer and rapist.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I think I sent you a link, but I'll send it again later. There's been the White Musk, and I saw them open for Johnny Pandora, and they're based in Guangzhou, right?
It's in Shanghai, actually.
Oh, really? Well, cool. Well, I saw you.
It's very mad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I saw you there. And yeah, some very cool music. We'll spread that out in a bit. But thank you very much for joining. We're covering some garage rock. I thought it was important to include you in there. Hey, someone I haven't seen for a while up in Beijing, Kyle.
Hey there, yeah, I'm in Beijing. I've known DJ Bo for several years, and I'm excited to be back on here for new things. I'm excited for some new shows in Beijing that are coming up. Slow Dive is coming in a few months. American football is coming in a few months. So it's been a little bit of a lull for Beijing for a while in terms of international acts, and I've been kind of excited to see that trend reversing a little bit. So looking forward to some changes there.
Thank you. And Kyle's a great music writer. He's covered a lot of great music acts, including one we're going to be talking about later. Hey, Julia.
Hello. I'm currently in Shanghai and just going to random music events. Very random stuff.
Anything in particular?
No, nothing in particular. Just the gig that you had last night.
Yeah, DJing last night at home. Cool, very cool. And Brian.
Metal KTV.
Metal karaoke. There you go. It's very cool. Someone else is in Shanghai joining us for the first time. Brian.
Hi, I'm Brian. I'm also in Shanghai. I'm out here at Fudan University just as a professor emeritus and teaching philosophy. I'm trying to get my students to use music as a cross-cultural point. And so I've just been promoting a lot of Chinese punk into LA because I used to teach at UCLA for many years. And I'm trying to get them to listen to some bands. And I often go to, Julie and a few of you other Shanghaiers might know Yuyan Tong, the park. Sure. The old one closed a few years ago. And I'm trying to get them to listen to some things like Namaste, Strike Xiaoming again and again. These are all the English names of them. Just Feed, Sober Chaos, a few others. And try to get them to, use their cross-point reference to, sort of make a connection to culture, language, and expression.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us.
Lover otherwise.
All good. No worries at all. So, Alex Jans, that's who is going to be on the Critic panel for you today. And so let's talk about your two albums. So first I'm going to give just a little introduction, some brief facts about them. And then I'm going to talk to you guys about it, and then we'll open it up to everyone for discussion. So let's first mention Shakedown Gospel by the Future Shape of Sound, Alex Captain Future's band. The album was released in 2018 by Future Crew Records, and it's the band's second and most recent album, although there's been various singles released as well, including some recently. On the back cover, it lists 10 members of the group, but also 9 featured artists, and there's 8 people on the cover. So we're going to get to the bottom of that mystery there. In fact, I think all the people in this group have been members of the Future Shape of Sound at some point or the other. I think we'll have to verify that really soon.
Yeah, and, I mean, once you're a member of the Future Shape of Sound, you can't leave, really. It's like the mafia, isn't it? Let me just get the album. So, I've got a signed copy. Brilliant.
Well, just hold on one second. We'll get to that in a bit here. We'll get to that in a bit. Yeah. And it was because it was recorded, mixed, and produced by you at your Space Echo Studios. And so, just one second, let me introduce What's So Funny by Achtung Spitfire Schnell Schnell. The album was released online in January this year by the band independently, and it's also the band's second album, their most recent one, and there's been various singles from the band as well. The album cover was designed by the band and is an homage to Blue Note Records' famous in-house style and features Cloudbotter's famous dancing shoes. Jans, do you have your dancing shoes on? You're muted. So
I haven't got them on, but I can show them. I can show them to you later.
I think we're gonna have to see those at some point because they're very snazzy.
Okay.
the green color is an homage to the iconic designs of the Bonzen Gartenschau, the National Gardening Exhibition of 1974 in Mannheim. I'm sure everyone here, they already know about the 1974 exhibition in Mannheim. We don't need to go over that again. And the album was recorded in 2024 by ASS at Shabby Road Studios, aka self-recorded at the rehearsal room and the homes of the band. So before we get going, usually we like to go one album each, but because the musics have different, similar styles, similar vibe, we're going to try to weave everything together all at once. And so I'm going to start off by playing a little bit of one song, and then I'm going to ask you guys a question about it. Here is track 10 from Shakedown Gospel. It's No Friend of Mine.
I'm gonna I'm gonna holler. I'm gonna I'm gonna holler. I'm gonna I'm gonna holler. That you're the I'm gonna I'm gonna hire it. I'm gonna I'm gonna hire it. I'm gonna hire it. 'Cause you're no friend of mine. Friday you tell me we're going all the way. Sunday you hear you don't know my name. He'd have a mess with you, do you harm? Wouldn't know Jack if you shot me with a gun. Wait to the voodoo man, he was in the dark. But we don't jump that shit.
So, oh no! You fell. You fell over. Oh no! Oh no! Okay, let's see. Join. No, we're here. Give me a second here. Can you? Let me.
We can hear you. We can't see
you. You can hear me. You can't see me. Okay, I'm gonna try this. Okay. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Okay, we're switching back. Okay. No friend of mine. That song closes out the album there, but I know that you do have friends, Captain Future. So if you can address the band member situation, but also can you talk a little bit about the Gypsy Hotel crew situation? Because I first encountered it by Scratchy Sounds, and just tell me a little bit what the Gypsy Hotel was in 2018 and your band member situation.
Okay, so the Gypsy Hotel situation is basically Gypsy Hotel is a club night and a record label run by my good friend Paul Ronnie Angel. And he's the front man and band leader in the Urban Voodoo Machine. And I started working with them in 2008. And have since recorded all their records. As a producer, I'm sort of tempted. I produce them, but as a producer, I sort of don't really make my records when I work with a band. I try and make their records, so that automatically makes me, if anything, a co-producer. So I like to refer to my work mainly as recorded by, rather than produced by. So I've been working with them for a long time, and Gypsy Hotel was like a monthly club night in London, and but has in recent years, more or less since lockdown, and also Paul Ronnie's moved back to Norway. So basically, it's a thing that happens once a year. But we use the Gypsy Hotel umbrella to release records that the Urban Voodoo Machine, Paul Ronnie and I produce, or in the case of Future Shape of Sound, he doesn't actually produce it, but it's basically an umbrella for a musical family. So it's a sort of a scene, like you say, DJ Scratchy, who is an amazing taste master DJ here in London, and he's been around for a long time. He used to be the tour DJ for The Clash, and Joe Strummer sort of christened him when one of his sets was like a little bit iffy or a bit scratchy and just technically, and Joe Strummer went like, yeah, I like your set, but it was a bit scratchy, wasn't it? And so DJ Scratchy is since called himself DJ Scratchy from that.
Cool. And
so yeah.
Well, yeah, there's, but yeah, like, so you have that established umbrella scene of the record label and the club night. Jens, can you, I don't really know too much about the current roots rock or garage rock scene in Mannheim. Can you talk? Is there a community there for this sort of music? Are there fellow bands there? What's the scene like?
Yeah. There's actually, I mean, it's not such a big town, but for the size of the town, there's a pretty good scene. There's quite a couple of bands. I had the idea of doing a compilation of all the garage 60s style bands, but I haven't got around to do it. A couple of surf bands, a couple of garage bands, a little bit of rockabilly, psychobilly there. So, and we're all like actually everybody's meeting up in this bar, the Blau. I've got this T-shirt here. and that's what we had the release gig and everything. So it's very small. It's like all in all, it's like, I don't know, the core is like 50 people, but it makes the scene. And like we travel to other cities for gigs. People say, you got this big scene there, and they imagine, I don't know, hundreds of people, but that's been the way with a lot of scenes in the past, like in like Düsseldorf, Ratingerhof, a very important German new wave punk thing. It was also a very small bar, and there's like 30, 40 people in there, regulars, and they all had bands. So I'm not comparing ourselves to that, but we have a good scene there. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, fantastic. Because I just really had no idea about that. I wanted to ask where these albums are coming from in that sense. So we just played a track 10 from Shakedown Gospel. This is now track 10 from What's So Funny. And for this one, you maybe want to take your hat off because it's Ode to Receding Hairline by Achtung Spitfire Schnell Schnell. Okay, so yeah,
can I just say one thing that I don't know about you guys, but the sound is sort of coming across a little bit jagged and stuff. Is that when you tested sounds earlier, they were perfectly fine, and now the other song and this one as well is a bit I don't know, it's a sort of digital distortion and a bit intermittent.
Yeah,
I wonder if that was a reflection of the age. You know, receding hairline, couldn't keep the beat anymore. You know, I wondered if it was intentional.
Right.
No. It's like it was dropouts and it was speeding up and slowing down. But yeah, that's a digital.
Well,
thing.
I think there's going to be some internet issues, and I also, when the things fell, I think it kind of resets, but it should maybe go back to what it was before. Anyway, sorry about that, guys.
No worries.
That's all right. As a kid in the 70s, I grew up in as a kid of the 70s, I grew up in LA radio with an act called Dr. Demento. You guys some of you might be familiar with it. It was an obscure offbeat radio show. But I wonder now that we've become, you know, he used to do a lot of music parodies. Of course, many of you might know Weird Al Yankovic and others who are very frequent on his show. But I wonder, you know, now that we're singing that the cause and effect of having 80, 90-year-old rockers, that now we're singing songs about our life, you know, no longer, I hope I die before I get old, and Pete Townsend, but now my receding hairline. I think we can all relate. Well, some of us can.
Interesting point. Yeah, and we'll get to a bit because the Rolling Stones just put out a snippet of their new single. But anyway, hey, I found Achtung Spitfire Schnell Schnell to be a really fun. It's a funny album without being a comedy album, without necessarily going that far. And also, like with Future Shape of Sound, there's a reference to Leonard Nimoy. There's humor in that. Can you talk about the use of humor in your album and your lyrics?
Me?
Let's start with Jans. Let's start with Jans first.
Yeah, that's actually well, I write lyrics about things that bug me or come to my mind, and sometimes it's just goofy stuff like the receding hairline thing, or the other song that's called "Secret of My Beauty" and stuff like that. And then there's other songs that are about stuff that really pissed me off, like current politics and stuff. So it's all mixed, and it's actually, I made sure that there's one side that's sort of got serious matter, and the other side has got more the goofy stuff. You know, you don't want to sing about the world's end and then sing about your receding hairline. So you got to sort of divide it something, because the receding hairline is not the world's end, you know.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you
never take life too seriously.
You mentioned in your liner notes that it came from a stage comment.
Yeah. It's like I don't know where it came from originally. Sometimes I'm goofing around. You know, I used to have this really big quiff haircut when I was younger, psychobilly, rockabilly scene sort of stuff, and I had these lyrics in my head for ages, and so I cited from the lyrics on stage. But that was way before I made a song out of it. So people probably thought I was stupid. I said something like, "I'm not a skinhead, I'm just bald." And everybody thought, well, what's he saying? But I was citing from a lyrics that nobody knew but me. So that's the story. So it took another 10 years for me to complete it and make a song out of it. So.
And Alex, you wanted to comment about that with humor?
Yeah, the humor very important in the Germany, you know.
We don't even know what it is, you know, humor. Never heard of it.
We know a joke, we tell it again. But well, you know, I mean, you were referencing a line from a track from the album called Joy. I feel the joy like Leonard Nimoy. I feel the joy like Helen of Troy. And you know, we just wanted to make a track about the joy of being seduced down by the river, because this is something that actually happened to our keyboard player at the time, but he never saw the joy, and he just ended up in a cheap hotel and then couldn't get home. And but so we wrote a song about it. But the thing about gospel music, I mean, we're not actually a religious band sort of thing. You know, some band members have their own individual faith, but I think gospel music deals with everything that we all deal with. We all deal with fear, anxiety, hope, death, salvation, fulfillment, and gospel music sort of brings those feelings out in a very positive way. And I don't think you have to be a religious person to like gospel music or the sentiment of it, and the feeling of making music together in a room, especially harmonies with vocal harmonies. It's just a, I mean, any music really, but it's just a healing kind of process.
Okay, well, I guess you know, I had some other things planned, but let's stay on this topic. I'm going to play a snippet from a song that's not from either of the albums we talked about, but it kind of references that in a bit, and we'll use it to jump off a bit. So let's listen here.
Right now.
You're muted now. Oh yeah.
Brothers and sisters, I want to see your hands out there. Let me see your hands. I want everybody to kick up some noise. I want to hear some revolution out there, brothers. I want to hear a little revolution. Brothers and sisters, the time has come for each and every one of you to decide the problem or whether you are going to be the solution. That's right. You must choose, brothers. You must choose. It takes 5 seconds. 5 seconds of decision. 5 seconds to realize your purpose here on the planet. It takes 5 seconds to realize that it's time to move. It's time to get down with it. Brothers, it's time to testify, and I want to know, are you ready to testify? Are you ready? I give you a testimonial. The MC5.
So that was the introduction to the MC5 album, Kick Out the Jams, and that was Ramblin' Rose. And you know, they do almost a gospel sort of display there with the sea of hands and talking about revolution or revelation, maybe it's where it came from. So do you get your influences? I'm going to ask both of you guys this, from like the original gospel sound, or from like the sort of rock revival version of it? Just like I hear echoes of music from Dr. John in your music. Are you listening to Dr. John, or are you listening to stuff that Dr. John listened to, Alex?
Well, I love the Dr. John music, but I am actually influenced by sort of more original gospel songs and gospel music, and yeah, so it's just, you know, I mean, we can in a world without limitation, we can do whatever we like, and you know, and this the MC5 is like, you know, religion and God. He makes it political because gospel music was very political at the time. It stood for hope and freedom out of slavery, and of course we can't nowadays compare ourselves to people who've really been enslaved, but we do need to keep an eye on other ways of being enslaved by social media and phones, etc., etc. So it remains. I mean, music ideally remains a platform for speaking your mind. I mean, any art form should. Speaking your mind and keeping the good fight up for freedom, personal freedom, whatever that means in different territories of the planet.
I got you. Jans, can you address that as well in terms of the influences?
Oh yeah. Actually, I think there's probably nothing stronger than like stuff that really comes from the soul, like proper gospel stuff. And like the intro of our album, I was trying to sound like the Reverend Kelsey. You know, I don't know all too much gospel. That there's nothing stronger than that. Like, you know, those preachers, like it's
yeah.
tougher
I
than
love
punk,
that
you know.
intro, by the way.
What's that?
I love that intro. When I listen to your album, that's obviously being the intro, the first thing that comes on. I was like, is that a sample? Is that like, did they nick that from somewhere, or is that you, the singer? You know.
Okay. Oh, thanks a lot. I was I was going to make it a lot better, but it turned out the way it is. But anyway, like I've listened to the Reverend Kelsey, and there's nothing. It's tougher than punk, really. It's so honest and it's so strong.
Yeah.
So, and yes, it's nothing deeper than that, really. And those, you know, as you mentioned, that those recordings were made at times when there was really a lot of more injustice than, I mean, still injustice there now, but back then it was so much worse. And so that was deeply heartfelt stuff. So, and yeah, so
yeah,
nothing can
I mean,
compare with that, really.
And the first song, Asteroid, it sort of keeps on your album, keeps that going. It's one of the songs I like. And it keeps that sort of vibe and expression going. And I mean, I have to be honest, I was hoping the whole album would be like that. You'd be calling people to the Church of Rock and Roll.
Thank you. I'll take that up maybe next album.
Yeah, next album. But you know,
yeah.
I mean,
But thanks anyway.
You guys just released an album, and your last one was released in 2016, isn't it? Like,
so next one will be up at 32 or something.
Yeah. It's fine. We got time. You know, a good thing. But yeah, we've just finished an album which we're releasing now. So yeah, and it's taken us a couple of years more than planned, but yeah, so I like that the element that you introduced your record with.
Thank you. Thank you.
Fantastic. And some of those elements, you know, what's so funny about Peace, Love, and Understanding, there's that sort of other sort of, you know, personal piece or cosmic piece and other elements too. Look, I have a lot of questions about the musicality about some of it as well, but we want to get the Critic guys in here to comment and kind of open it up to them. So let's go to Eric first.
Yeah, so actually going back, a song that was just mentioned, the first thing that really stood out to me from either of these albums was actually the track Asteroid. So I was just, I guess, a bit curious. What exactly were you thinking regarding like influences on that? Because it feels a bit different compared to some of the other songs. So yeah, just from a songwriting perspective, like what were you kind of going for there?
And before you get to that, let's listen to a little bit of Asteroid, and then we'll get some commentary. Thanks, Eric.
Last time this earth was so much trouble, and so species became extinct. Was when an asteroid hit this planet and out the climate out of sync. This time there's nothing from outer space to get this planet near destroyed. It is high time we have to face that we are the asteroid. It's high time that we face we're the asteroid. Oh, we are the asteroid. Oh, it's high time that we face.
Sure. Can you tell us about that track?
Yeah. Actually, I got the cue from we were at an art exhibition, and it said there was a piece of art that said 200 million years ago, an asteroid hit the planet, and the dinosaurs became extinct. And underneath it said, "This time we are the asteroid." So I thought that's really cool. You know, I mean, climate change and stuff is really bugging me. There's people who deny it, but it's bugging me and my kids and stuff. So I wanted to write a song, but I don't want to write. You know, you don't want to write climate change is bad and stuff. So that sentence, I made it into a lyrics, and I had a sort of high energy rock and roll number envisioned with it, and a chorus that you can sing along. So it just came along like that, really.
Yeah.
Dima,
did you want? Sure.
Sorry.
Go for it. Go for it.
A nerdy question. I really like the vocal sound you have on that.
Yeah.
How did you get that?
Actually, just like a preamp distortion and a sort of I don't know what you call it, like
Well, like a vocal effects unit, do you mean, or like a preamp, meaning like a desk channel, and you turn up the gain and it's the preamp distorts?
Yeah, I used to sing through a proper tube preamp, but this time it was done digitally. So
Okay.
yeah, but it's basically no effect in that respect. It's just what they used to do with equipment in the 60s, like preamps and tube and stuff.
Okay, so overdriven vocals, basically, is it?
Yeah.
And what? And no room sound and no.
Yeah, a little bit of echo and stuff, like
yeah.
a slight little bit. Yeah.
I mean, you're saying this time it was done digitally.
Yeah.
I mean, it goes to show that I think we work with our ears more than our equipment. I mean, we use the equipment we have, but at the end of the day, it's our ears that make the decision. So because I think it sounds authentic. I mean, it sounds warm and tube driven, and it doesn't sound digital. So yeah, you did a good job, I think.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, actually, that's our recording, but it's mainly Hussein who did the mixing and the mastering. He did a good job on that. So,
cool.
But I would rather do it with proper equipment. But it's a DIY, and we didn't have all the setups and stuff. So, I mean, your record sounds like really super warm and authentic because it's the proper stuff. So,
well,
thanks.
I mean, I've got an analog desk here and stuff, and I've got analog things, but I do record digitally, and use. I mean, I use the. I'm sorry if this gets. It's just tell me to shut up, Bo.
No, you guys keep it going, but we'll get to the people. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you're up. I mean, the openness of the album. It's just an interesting topic because it's replicating something that was done probably unintentionally at first. Of course, Sun Records added the echo, the reverb for it there, but recordings before that, it wasn't. It was just part of the process. But now it's something that's put into it. Would you say that's correct?
I guess like recording process was initially one microphone, and you had to place the instruments in the room according to their volume and level to be balanced. So a lot of time was spent trying to balance it, which is why the drums are always in the background, or sometimes they had to play with brushes just simply for the volume, and they just positioned the singer and the bass player, and then if it was double bass, it had to be further forward to the microphone, etc., etc. So you've got a natural room sound and a natural closeness. Say the vocals would be a bit closer than the drums, so in old recordings, drums are always, and so on. And then it was only later in the I mean, sort of late 60s, I guess, that they started
16-track recording.
Multi-track, and it changed the sound, which was initially interesting for people because it was a different sound. You could suddenly close mic the snare and close mic this and that and the other, and then manipulate your own effects, and thereby sort of create in a way an alien room, not like a room where you listen to the music and you feel you're in the room, because basically it was all recorded in a room, and I mean, so they were working with limitations, and like I said earlier, limitations are actually, I think, a good thing in a world where we can do anything with anything. Like I can, and each one of you can create more or less any type of music, any style of music in your laptop. wherever you are in the world. I mean, that's just incredible, really. And so that can be like, okay, so if I can do anything, what do I do? You know, if you can only do one thing, then that's the thing you're going to do. And I mean, I have luckily I have like a big live room, and I everything I record will have a close mic and a room mic, so I can create well, it's not an illusion because it's all been recorded in the same room, but not necessarily at the same time. But I can create the illusion that it's been all recorded in the same room.
Yeah, that's something we talked about a couple of weeks ago at the CMC when we talked about Eric Allen. If you guys were there for it, that was a pretty interesting conversation. Dima, you had a comment about the sound, and it's pretty interesting, right? That Alex's record was done in a proper studio with a producer, and Jan's was done very DIY, but they both kind of have an authentic sound to you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I was just listening to the like this rockabilly in my garage repairing my bike, and I thought that's some proper punk rock music. It's like, you know, you got what the Black Keys have, you know, this kind of vibe that I like really much, but you got it in the more punk style. I like it more, you know, like this kind of mix. So it's kind of like better than the Black Keys for me. And,
wow,
cool
better than the Black Keys. All right.
Yeah.
Put that on your billboard there.
Yeah.
Very cool. Let's keep it moving. I want to make sure everyone gets their chance to put their 2 cents in. Kyle, did you have a favorite track or a comment or question?
Yeah, I enjoyed both albums immensely. I'm curious what the response to both is like live, because we talked a lot about the recording process, but they sound like they would rip in front of an audience and would get people to sing along and get people thinking about different important things after. So I'm curious about how the songs come across and what kind of memorable experiences you've had connecting with audiences with these songs.
Jan, do you want to start that off?
Yeah. We're actually we consider ourselves more of a live band, so it's all high energy. So it's meant to be full force all the time, and people respond to it. You know, that we are actually talking about limitations. We have a sort of a tight set of rules, so to say, like what the music must be and what it must not be. You know, otherwise, if you can do anything, you don't know how to do anything. So anyway, it's got to be high energy and it's got to be danceable. So people are dancing, and we've had this effect that we were playing in Cologne a year ago or something, and it was not a very good date. You know, there'd been Cologne Carnival before. Nobody wanted to go out, so that's just 30 people there. And in the end, everybody was singing along to our songs, even though they didn't know them. So I thought, okay, well, then we must have done something right there. So everybody was dancing, and they were actually singing along. I don't know what they were singing, but they were singing along. So yeah, so it works out. It works out quite well. Usually, there's always
Alex,
people
you want to
dancing.
talk about the live? You want to talk about your live setup and your performances, especially with such a big ensemble, right?
Yeah, I mean, the live setup is between 8 and 10 people. So we have 4 backing vocalists, and other than that, it's a sort of a normal kind of rock and roll setup with drums, bass, guitar, and keyboards. Until recently, we had Tommy Ray Brown as our lead singer, who's the widow of the James Brown, and she lived in England since 2008, I think, for a number of reasons. But she's had visa problems, and she had to leave this country last November. So that was a bit sad, because we've just finished the album with her vocal on it, and there's a couple of tracks I put on the Spirit songs, I think, that where Tommy Ray
we'll get to those.
is on it. Yeah, so there's that, and she is an incredible talent, a writer, performer, and singer. She's a white lady, and she's a sort of got a Janis Joplin kind of vibe. And we like live. We are trying to kind of bring it to church, and you know, with the thing is live. It's like, if you tell, we've got a song called Rise Up, and we usually introduce it with, like, you know, we need a bit of help with this one, and you know, and it's going to go like this, and we do it, and people respond. If you sort of tell them what to do and do it yourself, they respond and they come with you. And especially if it's a sort of a simple you know, call and response,
Sure,
a vocal like you have in gospel is more or less, well, it's not based on call and response, but there's a lot of call and response in gospel.
it's
And
classic
I mean,
showbiz.
I'm sorry.
Classic show business.
All right. And yeah, so I mean, like you were saying, sometimes it doesn't matter like how many people are there, because they happen to be there and don't happen to be there and whatever. And it's like, as long as the 30 people that are there aren't leaving, but they're dancing, you have won. And that can be you know, that'll be the case for whether it's 30,000 people or 30 people. And we've had gigs like that where we were like, okay, this was a bit of a weird Monday night or whatever, but whoever was there stayed. And then we played Red Rooster Festival, I think it was 2 years ago, when we were put on like at 12:30 midday on a Saturday, and we were like, okay, we love the festival. Red Rooster is probably one of the best festivals. I mean, it's a small festival, but its roots as blues, and it's well, I can talk more about it, but anyway, and at 12:30 there was like hardly, it's a big tent, like probably 2,000 people, and there was hardly anybody in there. And at 2:30, and then we started off, we've got this sort of long intro, like gospel-y kind of vocals, and you know, calling people, and 10 minutes later the tent was absolutely packed, and those are the sort of, and people really went with it. And then afterwards it was difficult to go, you know, to get some food or go to the toilet, because everybody was like, oh my God, that was amazing. And I've played gigs where that didn't happen. Yeah, well, it's like, that was not amazing. So sometimes, but with the future shape of sound, we get that a lot, and it's very satisfying, and it's very humbling, because that's when you've achieved, you know, you've put a lot of work into it. But other people, the audience, you know, they need to sort of actually get out the house and go in the underground or in the car and go to the venue and pay for the thing and blah, blah, blah. And it's raining and stuff like that. And if you can make it worth their while to having done that, and maybe brought a mate and gone like, see, told you, this is going to be good. Yeah. Then you've achieved and mission accomplished, and you've contributed to, you know,
you gave them some value for sure. Absolutely. And I saw you sing Rise Up solo in Cambodia as well. I remember.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll get to that story later. Mimi, did you have a favorite or a question or a comment that you'd like to make?
Yes. I don't have so many questions, actually. First of all, I don't really knew about gospel music, but I do know something about garage punk and garage music. So, Achtung Spitfire Schnell Schnell. Hi, nice to meet you. So I really enjoy your album, and I have lived in Germany for like 1.5 months. Basically in Berlin, there's no such more for rock and roll and retro rock and roll scene. So it's very happy to hear sound like this in Germany, than like this. And yes, the only question for you is a very stupid question. Is that Est Fox Continental?
No, the organ. You're talking about the organ? No. It's also digital. It's a proper organ. It's a northern. It's a Nord organ. It's
okay.
proper thing, but it's not the original. Unfortunately, we used to have an organ player who had a Farfisa on stage. It was really, really cool. and yeah, it sounds. I think it sounds good, but of course the
It
real
sounds
thing
great
is
on the
always
album. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds great on and I have a little bit discussion with my friend. Is this actually from, you know, Fox, the Who sound, the Who sound?
yeah.
And I love this album. It reminds me of the question mark and the Mysterians and mixed with the Sonics and basic a little bit the Who, but Achtung Spitfire is ein bisschen mehr punk rock sound. So
Okay.
yeah, I love it. Thank you so
That's
much.
actually what I thought too. I thought there's a sort of a little bit of that gospel thing, and then a sort of garage rock thing in book by its cover. Can't judge a book, and then sort of further down the album, it's got more like a punk rock or sort of rock sort of element to it.
Yeah.
So as for me, the Future Shape sound is more gospel, and the Achtung Spitfire is more garage punk. But you do have some, the Future Shape sound do have very beautiful arrangement, and the production is wonderful. And but just actually, it is my first time to listen to something gospel, so I don't have so many comments.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's great. It's some rock, it's some roll. It's a good. It's the albums go really well together. It's almost like a perfect hour.
And there's
to
a
me.
word called combinational creativity. I think that's the two albums show me. So yeah.
Fantastic, Mimi.
Thanks.
Very cool. Look, we have time for one or two more quick things. Brian, did you have a quick question or comment? Maybe Julia. No, you're okay for now. Julia, did you have a favorite track you want to mention? No, okay for now. Yeah, you got stuff on the background. Cool.
You do.
I think she meant to be muted,
Oh,
right,
okay.
Julia? Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll.
What happened?
Did you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite track you wanted to mention?
I had a couple. I like Hands Again. Hands Again. I believe that's how you say it.
Hansen game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Asteroid. Also for the other, I enjoyed number one. And
Gone all wrong.
Number one.
No, number one, she said.
Oh, number one. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, I just
And
track one. Sorry.
Yeah.
and also Toe the Line. Good
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Well, let's listen to a little bit of Toe the Line to finish us off, and then we'll move on. So here is Toe the Line. We'll cut that off here for now because we're kind of running out of time. You know, that song reminded me a little bit of, like something from Exile on Main Street, and the Rolling Stones have a new song. You have a new album coming out. Can you just tell me a little bit, Alex, what do you have coming up? What do you want to plug? What's the future for Future Shape of Sounds?
So we've finished an album called Heavy Load. And again, it's a sort of a gospel rock and roll blues album. We'll hear a couple of songs hopefully later, mainly with Tommy Ray Brown on lead vocals. And after she had to leave, unfortunately, there's still a couple of songs. So there's Claire Allen, who is our now lead vocalist. She was previously the backing vocalist. All our backing vocalists nowadays are sort of lead vocalists in their own right. And I believe I encourage the backing vocalist to project the vocal like a lead vocal, minus the sort of ad libs and the kind of, you know, the breakouts from the melody. Because obviously, if you're singing together, you need to sort of stick with your harmony. Yeah, very much looking forward to that. We just played a festival, the International Blues Festival in Inverness, which was a fantastic experience. There was Alvin Youngblood, who contributed to the soundtrack of Sinners, the film. And also a band called Southern Avenue, where the lead singer also contributed to that film, and they screened it in the hotel. So we were all the performers, the headliners were the Fabulous Thunderbirds, like a legendary blues band from way back. And it was an amazing event, and it was funded by the Inverness Fund for the Common Good, which is what we need. We need more common good and funding it. And
fantastic.
And that's an interesting story. Look it up, the Inverness Fund for the Common Good. It's nothing to do with taxes and stuff. So it's just people giving money for good, what they think are good things, and it's hundreds of years old. But anyway, so that was good. We're releasing the album in May, and there'll be an event. I'm putting on an event called the Future Shape of Sound Festival, in a venue in North London, the Walthamstow Trades Hall, and I'll be performing as Captain Future. Future Shape of Sound will be performing, and other projects connected to the Future Shape of Sound. So our bass player has a band called the Rotten Boroughs, and also I've started a project called the Guerrilla Street Gospel Choir. And the Guerrilla Street Gospel Choir is me on bass, drum, and guitar, and then you know, a more or less unlimited amount of singers, but we've got like 10 to 13 at the moment. And what we do is that I'm trying, you know, every now and again you sort of go like, what we're trying to do is we're going to a venue and then we're asking people to come to the music, which is fine and good and whatever, and we keep doing that. But I felt what I want to do is, like, I want to bring the music to the people, and then they can stay or leave, and they can be surprised, and it's free. And the idea started in lockdown when I got a bit bored and depressed, and as I said to my drummer, like, fucking hell, man, should we just go somewhere and play? And then we packed the drum kit in the back of a van, got some battery powered amps, and just turned up places and started playing. And that's where that idea sort of originated. But it's still a good idea, even if it's not lockdown, because obviously in lockdown there weren't any clubs that people could go to and music that they could go to. So we were like, if you can't come to the music, we will bring the music to you. And
punk rock troubadours.
Absolutely. And it was unlicensed. We didn't ask for permission or anything like that. And the same with the Guerrilla Gospel Choir. So it's the Guerrilla Street Gospel Choir, and we're doing original songs and gospel classics. And we've done a few gigs in the street where we just turned up in, say, Tottenham Court Road or Oxford Street in London.
Guerrilla style, for sure.
Yeah. And just do it that way, and then and people love it. And you know, you expect to get arrested even in lockdown with what we're doing because of lockdown and because of the situation. But surprisingly, in our case, police were actually really nice, and they only turn up and ask you to move on if someone else complains. So it's only if a resident complains that police are. And literally, we had situations where police were like, "We're really sorry. We actually think what you're doing is fantastic, but we had a complaint from somewhere over there, so we need to be seen to move you on." But so the Guerrilla Street Gospel Choir will do a first time indoor performance at the Future Shape of Sound Festival, which is the release party of our new album Heavy Load.
Fantastic, Jans. Anything you want to plug or mention for upcoming and what's going on with the band?
Yeah, we have quite a couple of gigs coming, and we've actually had a lineup change. So we've a lot of rehearsal.
Not
and,
a lineup change.
Yeah. Our rhythm.
Something I don't know anything about.
Yeah, so we got a couple of gigs, and should be all cool. I wanted to give some more comment of praise to Alex's album. I really love it, and it's a super cool sound. And my favorite track is Joy, and for the sheer power of the vocals and the arrangements, and especially for the drum beat. I don't know, you can tell the drummer that it's a sort of a train beat, a shuffle, but it's at the same time super groovy and danceable. So never heard that. So really cool album. And I'd like to get my hands on it.
I'm on this one. I played the drums.
Oh, really? So
yeah,
praise to you.
Know, it's
really cool.
Editing.
Oh.
But
I have a beef with that track. I have a beef with that track. It mentions the Florida moon, and I spent lots of nights under the Florida moon, and it's humid and it's sticky and it's probably going to rain, so it's not as joyful as you make it sound. So you need to edit the lyric. Anyway, hey, look.
The full line is actually a Florida honeymoon, but it didn't fit in with the syllables, so we shortened it to Florida moon. But the Florida honeymoon is basically a dirty secret weekend away. That
I got you.
In slang, as you know.
Okay, well, we're closing out the album discussion. Thank you very much to Jan and Alex. Yeah, we're finished with that. I don't got my sound effects. But don't worry, there's guys are sticking around because they both contributed critic lists. So let me just move on to that part really quickly and introduce that segment, and we'll hear back from them again, including from some of their music. So our critic list for this meeting is Spirit songs. And as always, there's no wrong answers. It's open to interpretation. So let me just ask you guys, just yell it out right now. Don't take a second. When I said Spirit songs, what did you think of? What came to mind when we said that?
Ghost.
Ghosts. Yes, there were ghosts that made it on the list. Anyone else?
Shostakovich.
Moonshine.
Moonshine.
Spirituals.
Yeah. Yes, spirituals. Cool. And did anyone check out the critic list that other people made? Did anything pop out to people from the QQ or Spotify playlist? In fact, I'll put it in there at all. Anyone notice anything or hear a song that they really liked?
Oh yeah, there's quite a couple. Mimi had those old psychobilly numbers that I know that I grew up on. So, and somebody, lots of things that were runners up to my list were on the other list. So really cool. I always enjoy looking at those lists. Really.
Well, you had Rush on there, and I think Ryan had that as well. So
yeah,
you were thinking that. I was surprised that was on your list.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a bit, but it's all good.
My list, I started to think of the old Beach Boys song "Be True to Your School" because that was something they just pounded into our consciousness when I was young.
David had that on there, and that's a different interpretation of Spirit that we talked about. David's list was very interesting in that regard. We'll get to that in 1 second there. So. There's no winners or losers, but it's fun to keep track of what artists and songs appear on the list. So we compile it, and number 1 gets 5 points, and number 2 gets 4 points. The artists that appear the most were, the first one is a group I have never heard of, Future Islands. The second one is Ja Wobble, who I will be talking about with Alex because he worked with him. He's on my list as well. And also Rush, there we go, from Canada. The artist points, Rush got 7 points, Future Island got 6 points. And the songs that appear the most, the song appearances are Spirit and Spirit of Radio by Future Island and Rush. And the song with the most points is Spirit of Radio by Rush. So since we got these guys still talking here, let me go back to them. John, you've done this before, so we're going to start off with you. I'm going to read off your 5 songs. You take a minute, and you can talk about just one song, or you can talk a little bit about each. You got a lot of people, so don't take too long with it. And then we'll play from your song. I'll assume you want me to play from your number 1 song, but if you want, I'll play whatever the fuck you want. It's all good. Your number 5, a group that started as the Southern Death Cult. It's the Cult with Spirit Walker. You're number 4, Future Island, Spirit. You're number 3, Geddy Lee and Rush, The Spirit of Radio. You're number 2, featuring Flea on bass. I had to check that out. It's Johnny Cash with Spiritual. And you're number 1, live at Clubfoot. It's the Primevals with Spiritual. Tell me about your list.
Yeah, the Primevals, they're on the Clubfoot sampler, Clubfoot compilation, which was it's the holy grail of early psychobilly. And I listened to that when I was younger. And I got turned on to the Primevals, a garage outfit from Glasgow. And I really love that song. Funny is, it's not psychobilly at all, but it turned me on to that music. And it also gave me the courage to try and sing myself, because you don't listen to James Brown and thinking I can do that, but you listen to the Primeval singer and thinking, okay, maybe I can do that. So that was important for my spirit as well. So, and I really like that song, and I still don't know what they're singing about, but it doesn't matter.
Well, fantastic. We'll get to that, and then we're going to get to Alex, Captain Future, talk about his list. So here is the Primevals with Spiritual, stopping at the Clubfoot. Thank you very much. There you go. He's got that kind of mojo. That was his number 1, yeah. He's got that sort of Mojo Nixon sort of wobble sound going on with his voice. Very cool. Alex, Captain Future, you chose from your catalog, which is perfect.
I mean, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible that
it's all good. It's not the first time. The veterans here know about it. I'll read it off before you talk about it. I'm going to read it off. It's not the first time it's happened. Other people, Lacey, Eric, he's smiling. He's seen people do it too. So it's all good. There's no wrong answers. You're number 5, Jaw Wobble, featuring PJ Higgins, featuring Lee, Scratch, Perry, Watch How You Walk. The future shape of sound versus Lodetica Dub remix.
They didn't really have a long name, so I chose that one.
Yeah. You guys could never play a show together, both of your bands, because by the time people said the name of the bands, they'd be finished. They'd have to go home by then.
Yeah, curfew.
Yeah. Number 4, the future shape of sounds. I Want a Little Slow Blues. You're number 3, Captain Future yourself with Ghost Woman. You're number 2, Captain Future, Thank You. And you're number 1, Captain Future, Getting Ready. Tell me about your list really quickly of one of the songs, and we'll play it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I mean, basically, I've been just really busy recently, and when this thing came, like, spirit songs, I was just like, yeah, what Moonshine, and I need to look it up and research it, and I was like, no, actually, I've got in I Want a Little Slow Blues. It's about. So this is a song that Tommy Ray's singing, and it's about the kind of the drama of relationships in the verses and the hope of fulfilled relationships in the chorus, like a little slow blues, meaning I want to relax a little bit, I want to be, accepted and fully loved, sort of thing. And there's a line that says, I felt the spirit, I felt the heat, and so that just came to mind. the song Getting Ready, which is, I don't really have a number 1 or 5. They're all sort of equal, so I put them in some list somehow. Getting Ready is from an album called The Captain Feature Sunday Service with various guest singers, and this one is Lydia Walker. And Getting Ready is basically about preparing yourself to die, and be ready for death and embrace, that fact of our life. Is that, and then there's a couple of other ones. Ghost Woman is from my Captain Feature album Ghost Man. Ghost Woman is
so people could check it out on the playlist, and
they can.
and
yay
that it's gonna be there forever. And you should know this from gospel music. You can't half-ass it. You can't just say, oh well, everything's kind of tied. No, God is number one. You gotta feel strong about it, Alex. Don't back away. Getting Ready by Captain Future. That is your number one. No obfuscating. Say it with all your heart. I'm going to play that right now, and then we're going to move on to Brian.
I'm going to take life coaching sessions. I clearly need your life coaching sessions. Please. You are right. I do love that song. We've done it relatively quickly somehow, and sometimes you work on songs a long time for whatever reason, and then you need a bit of distance to them because you've worked on it so much. That one was done relatively quickly and simply and easily, and I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah. Thank you.
Brian, we can't hear you. You're muted.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry.
No. But Brian Bow, DJ Bow.
Yeah, I'm also Brian. It's confusing. The Captain Future Alex, many names. You got to keep it straight. I know it's very difficult. And let's just get to it. Brian, you're number 5, Norman Greenbaum, Spirit in the Sky, a classic rock tune. There's also a cool 80s cover. Who did that? It was like I'm forgetting who did it. Anyway, number 4, it's Sting with The Police, Spirits in the Material World. You're number 3 from early Bruce Springsteen. He's still out there, Torn, Spirit in the Night. You're number 2. There's Rush, The Spirit of Radio, and you're number 1, Cat Stevens, The Wind. Tell me about your list.
It was a great theme for you to pick this week because it's something that, it's a mix of spiritual ideas, religious ideas, but also just kind of something in the culture that transpires beyond, what we normally would think of in terms of religion. So I just really like the theme to sort of help me. It was really enjoyable to go back to listen, to think of these songs and to dig them out. So I don't know. I could have easily filled up all 5 with Cat Stevens. I know Yusuf Islam, Cat Stevens is kind of out of the vogue these days, but I think he still has a deep impact on me personally. And I saw him live back when in my formative years back in LA before his conversion to Islam, So I don't know. It was really enjoyable. Great list. I think also I'm deeply affected by a lot of, 70s, 80s, 90s, but I don't know. Something about it just really hit home. So it was a great suggestion. Thank you for the chance of participating on that.
No worries. I'd love to dive into deeper, but we got to keep it moving. So it's Cat Stevens, Yusuf Islam, or just Yusuf, I guess now, The Wind. and then we're going to move on to Kyle. Thank you very much, Brian.
I listen to the wind of my soul. Where I'll end up, well, I think only God really knows. I've sat upon the setting sun, but never, 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 I never wanted water once. Never, never, never. I listen to my words, but they fall far below. I let my music take me where my heart wants to go.
Thank you. On a personal note, that always brings me back because my father and I never really connected on much. He was a Federal Reserve Bank examiner in the USA, and he was very buttoned down, I guess you could say, in the Bob Newhart sort of way. But the one thing we connected on, and he found something connected to us together in Cat Stevens. So it was really brings me back to a melancholy place. Thank you.
That's the great thing about sharing music. I mean, Cat Stevens also did Father and Son, right? That's one of the big ones too. So yeah, we could dive into that at some point soon. But hey, in the meantime, Kyle, you had a very interesting list. Jumped around a lot, and I had fun listening to these. Your number 5 is Sampha, Spirit 2.0. Your number 4, Digga Wolf, Inni, Spirit. Your number 3, David Strickland, Spirit of the Pop. Your number 2, there's that song that appeared twice, Future Islands, Spirits. And your number 1 came out in all sorts of different names and different forms. It's, I guess, a group from China influenced by Turkey. It's Iz and Mamer, Fluttering Spirits. I think that's correct. Maybe you can tell me incorrect via about that.
Yeah, thank you so much for having a theme like this, because Spirit is such a multifaceted kind of theme and word, which I think can lead to a lot of different kinds of songs and a lot of different ideas. So the Sampha song, just kind of talking, I think a big thing about that is kind of in that song is like transcendence and a spirit that can kind of move or someone's essence or ideas going to a different place or different things like that. I liked when I was looking through the music that I have on my phone and in my library and stuff like that, Spirit came up a few times with a couple of indigenous artists where I'm from in Canada. Digga Wolf, which is kind of like Tom Waitsy, abrasive alt folk, and then David Strickland, who's more of a kind of gritty sort of Wu-Tang influenced hip hop artist, but both of them incorporate spirit from their indigenous culture through samples or through themes in their lyrics and stuff like that. I love the Future Island song. It's kind of more about maybe spirit, the way I interpret it, at least in terms of kind of knowing your spirit or knowledge of self. And I think that anytime I get to listen to Future Islands or think about Future Islands is really great. So that it's great to have them on 2 lists here, because I think that they were they're a bit of an overlooked band now that had a lot of promise when indie rock was kind of at its height, maybe about 10 years ago or so. And so for me, at a formative time when they played Letterman and blew the roof off, or when indie rock was at a really special place at that point, that kind of hits my spirit quite deeply. And then on a personal note, when I came to China, there was a band or an outfit that was making a lot of waves called Mamer and IZ, and they're kind of from the west of China, Xinjiang Kazakh, with Turkish influence. And I don't understand a word of what they're singing about, but they have a song called Fluttering Spirit, and they do a lot of interesting things in terms of incorporating folk music from their ancestry and things like that, but then also a lot of experimentalism, dissonance, abrasiveness, and things like that. And whether it's a show that I saw of theirs a few months ago, or just the tone of a lot of their albums. There's quite a bit of darkness that undercuts or that lives beneath what they're performing and singing. And I get a sense of spirituality in terms of maybe a darker side or kind of a haunted sort of spirit. So it was great that you had that theme throughout all these different songs, because we can kind of go in a lot of different directions, whether it's one of us or whether it's all of us. So I think that was quite a bit of fun.
Yeah, we try to keep it open so people can dab into it deeper if they want. Yeah, and I think this sort of music is making a big kind of recent comeback with Taiga and some other groups that are incorporating electronic sounds with folk sounds. Interesting stuff. I'm going to play Is a Member, Fluttering Spirit. And just let me mention Jans and Alex. I know, Alex, you might have to go. You guys went through questioning, so if you have to check out, I completely understand. But in the meantime, we're going to play Kyle's tune, and then we're going to get to Mimi. Thank you very much, Kyle.
Jelib жүргін жайлауда мен бір бөкін Желбіржікен желіп жүргін жайлауда сен бір бөкін Желбіржікен желіп жүргін жайлауда мен бір бөкін Желбіржікен желіп жүргін жайлауда сен бір бөкін
All right, there we go. Mimi, your songs, I got them right here. I'm going to pull it up right now. Your number 5 is the Hillbilly Moon Explosion featuring Sparky. They've done a lot of duets. I really like their cover of Jackson. But you chose Northern
that's also my
Qualms.
favorite version of Jackson. So do I.
If I just bought the 45 and I spent way too much money on it, but that's another story. Number 4, Mad Sin, Sex, Love, Blood, and Death. Number 3, Kit Tyler and the Flips, Oh Yeah Baby. Number 2, a great singer discovered by John Otis, Tough Lover. And your number 1, maybe the only real psychobilly band their fans would say. It's the Meteors with Psycho for Your Love. Tell me about your list.
So there's not actually the 1 to 5. So do I, Alex. So Spirit is a too big position for me, and I would like to do a little bit introduction of my background. I'm a music. I study music field for my past life, and for classical music and composition and everything I learned is so complicated. But when I was like 18 years old, I entered the world of rock and roll music, and everything here is so simple, but everything here is also good. So the subculture kind of changed my life of creation. So yeah, the Spirit I give the title, a subtitle is called the rock and roll rockabilly that we love song. So I select the 5 of them, and maybe we can play a little bit. The Hillbilly Moon Explosion piece is beautiful, but before that, I would like to introduce Kit Tyler. He's not that much famous. He's not famous, actually. This guy died for no name, but he everything he create was great, because at that time that there's no word about psychobilly, but Kit Tyler do everything to create his own air of a little bit spooky, creepy rock and roll vibes. So, but still Hillbilly Explosion.
Yeah, and I just wanted to thank you. I don't think I had a chance before. I gave a speech for the Royal Asiatic Society about Elvis, and you wrote a beautiful piece that I was able to quote from. There's no Elvis on the Spirit list, which is disappointing, but hey, I just posted a link to your live album. in the chat. People can check it out. And your studio album is on Bandcamp as well. But in the meantime, it's the Hillbilly Moon Explosion featuring Sparky, featuring Northern Crown. And then we're going to get to Lacey Eric. Thank you, Mimi.
Where have you been, my long true love, since you left me under the stars above? Each night I wait when the sun goes down for you to follow Northern Crown, Northern Crown, Northern Crown. It really my hair, it was crimson bright. You picked it yourself from our flower bed. The day you told me you were leaving town, or riding away from the Northern Crown, Northern Crown, Northern Crown. You've got to return.
Lovely.
If you're not familiar, Sparky's the lead singer in the Demented Are Go. I know Jans is a big psychobilly head. I'm sure he knows that as well. And yeah, very cool stuff. Yeah, you gave it a big thumbs up. Eric, so Mimi's album was on Dying Arts Records. Your band is also on Dying Arts Records, I guess, currently as well. So that's a sign a record label. Yeah, so your list, let me get to it right here. You went real punk rock. The Ultimate Warrior, Spirit of 77. Bob Blockhead Quartet, BBQ, Beijing band, I think it is, Metal Up Your Ass. The Queers, I Just Called to Say Fuck You, lovely title. Bomb the Music Industry, Brian Wilson Says Smile, aka Beard of Defiance. And your number one is the Hextalls, I Bred This Beard for Slaughter. Eric, tell me about it.
Yeah. So I took Spirit, I guess, in a bit different direction than some of our other folks have. I was thinking more like something that kind of encompasses an idea. So started with the Ultimate Warriors, Spirit of 77. Like the sound is very like more modern-ish of a hardcore sound, kind of saying like, hey, kind of fuck the idea of like 77 punk. Then we get into BBQ's song, which to me kind of like encompasses that band like entirely. A very like thrashy, crossover-y, metalish sound. The Queers, I Just Called to Say Fuck You. Everything about that to me kind of just like is the spirit of punk. I enjoy the idea of someone growing a beard purely to say like, oh, screw my job. Just a very funny idea. Finally, getting into the last one, which I guess kind of Professor Nate worked with this idea a little bit. The idea of like sports being a spirit type thing. So showing spirit for your team by growing a playoff beard, which is I Bred This Beard for Slaughter.
Interesting stuff. So there you go. Did you grow your beard for a particular sports franchise?
You got to keep it all right year round. You always have to. This is why I bandwagon hop. You know, if my team sucks, then I'd have to go clean shaven. It's not great.
Very good. Okay, Hextalls, I Bred This Beard for Slaughter. You're number one. Thank you, Lacey Eric. Then we're going to get to Julia.
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm growing my beard out. Stanley Cup playoffs. I'm growing a beard. Flyers keep winning, I keep growing it out. People let me work, I'm asking what it's all about. I can't say that I've been listening to a lot of Kenny Rogers lately. Would you believe this is the year they try to explain that? I just wanna believe.
Very cool. Yeah, the Philadelphia Flyers. Go team, go. Sports ball. Go get them. Hey, Julia, your list. Your number 5 is Kaiwachi, Demons. Your number 4, Dioxide, Geist. Your number 3, Terabyte, Ghost Stories. Your number 2, Dark Lotus, Witch Trapped in this Song. And your number 1 from the Insane Clown Posse, it's Vera Lee. Tell me about it.
Okay. So I'm gonna go number 1 first. Vera Lee, like I said, I thought ghost and hauntings and things that messed with your head because of possible hauntings. So Vera Lee is a story that I think is rather relatable and possibly one of the serious songs from the Insane Clown Posse, of like a student that died and kind of connected onto another student that was kind to her when she was alive and, you know, wants that other student to die too. Witch Trapped in this Song. So this is a fun song. It's about a spirit trapped in a song, and the spirit can make you do things, kind of a thing. But because it's Dark Lotus, it's, you know, usually slaughtering people or doing dark rituals. Fun stuff. The spirit is a witch.
Okay.
Ghost stories.
Ghost stories definitely work, and you have the German song in there. Very cool,
Yes.
Julia. I'm going to play your Insane Clown Posse number 1 song. You're going to go see them this summer at the Gathering of the Juggalos. And then
Yes.
we're going to get to Professor Nate. So here's ICP with Vera Lee.
I was never nothing popular, and neither was she. She was kind though, always had a smile for me. I never thought much about her, didn't see her that way. And she was always out sick, missing every other day. Now that I think about it, we was always saying hello. I always figured it was cause we both were people alone. I hardly knew her at all. She sat behind me in some classes. What was really going on behind her glasses? And why is Verily haunting me here with me? Verily watching me carefully. Verily haunting me here with me. Verily watching me carefully. Verily haunting me here with me. Verily watching me.
Just let me take this chance. Alex, have you ever recorded any hip hop artists at your Echo Studio?
Yes. I've probably recorded pretty much anything you can think of.
Sure.
Puppeteers. Yeah, I've recorded hip hop artists. I mean, I don't know. Does Tricky count as a hip hop artist? More like a trip hop artist, isn't it? But
sure,
I've done quite a lot of work with Tricky.
Okay, interesting.
You know, why are you asking? Just out of interest?
Because we just heard a hip hop song, and I'm just seeing if there was any connection or influence there. Like, Jans, do you listen to any hip hop music?
Well, yeah, I mean, not so much anymore, but I do love hip hop. I mean, yeah, some of it, but maybe more the sort of the old school stuff, and I like the trip hop hip hop.
Sure.
So
very British.
Yeah. I don't necessarily sort of like the violent hip hop for the spirit of it, even though sometimes the music may be interesting, but yeah, so positive music I like.
Gotcha. Jans, did any hip hop in your catalog?
No, it's just my kind of thing. I got a blank space there, really.
All good. No worries at all. Professor Nate, let's get to your list right now. Your number 5 is the University of Notre Dame Band of the Fighting Irish, the Notre Dame Victory March fight song. Your number 4, I think you've had this song before. I think it's a recurring theme, Katy Perry Roar. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Number 3, the White Stripes, Seven Nation Army. Your number 2, Queen, We Are the Champions. And your number 1 is the much superior cover of the classic Rocky theme song, Gonna Fly Now. Tell me about your list.
All right, let me give you the rundown here. The fifth and the first one are connected because once upon a time when I was in the Brockton High School marching band, we would always play these on the touchdowns. And then we have Katy Perry Roar, which is my throwaway. I don't know why I put it at 4 and not 5, but usually 5 is reserved for throwaways. But that was a spirit song they used in a lot of places in the district I'm teaching in right now. They are the Tigers, which is that, I guess. And I also taught in a school where they were the Vikings, and we did Seven Nation Army over and over and over again. And then, of course, for when I was playing youth soccer, we would always play We Are the Champions, whether we won or not at the end there. But Maynard Ferguson, Gonna Fly Now. Those that don't know Brockton, which probably everybody here, Brockton's a little suburban city, south of Boston. Our high school is like 5,000 students, so it's one of the largest high schools on the East Coast. And we had a boxer, Rocky Marciano, there, who is the famous person from there. And so every football game, we would play 2 songs. We'd play the Notre Dame Victory March on the touchdowns, and then we would play Rocky. And it was usually something more like this version of it, Maynard Ferguson. We used to call it the Brockton High School National Anthem. That was how it was.
You would play We Are the Champions even when your team lost. That's got to be the saddest thing in the world to play. Did you play like a minor key version of that?
Youth soccer, man. I mean, sometimes it is the saddest thing in the world. It depends on which team you're on.
All good. Maynard Ferguson, Gonna Fly Now, and then we're going to get to David. Thank you. Yeah, you can hear the rest of that on the playlist. But yeah, like the group vocal thing that comes in, especially on the original version, but a little bit here, it's a really kind of outdated thing. You know, training hard now, gonna kick ass now, all that shit. It's weird. Hey, David.
70s sound, isn't it? Sound of the 70s. I mean,
yeah, very, very that. Yeah. Although you get some of that even like in the 30s and 40s, like even big band things would sometimes have weird vocals come in on the orchestrations. David, I had to hear all week from Brian, who complained about he was going to be the old guy. I was like, you're not going to even be the oldest guy here. I have a fossil who's going to be joining us. And so here you are. So I don't want to hear anyone complaining until they're older than you, even though we have had older guests as well. So I just wanted to mention that. I've been defending your honor as our veteran man here. Your number, I loved your list. Eric and I also agreed on that. You took a very specific look, and it's great. Your number 5, the Beach Boys, Be True to Your School. and it's the single version with the girls. Rah Rah Siskumba. You're number 4, Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. You're number 3, Ella Jenkins and the Goodwill Spiritual Choir of Monumental Baptist Church, Wade in the Water. You're number 2, Aretha Franklin, one of her original compositions, Spirit in the Dark. And you're number 1 with its classic introduction, Rahsaan Roland Kirk with Black Nuts. Tell me about it.
Well, I just sort of started out. I always start out just trying to come up with something from memory. Okay, so what are we going to do? So the first thing that hit me was be true to your school team, school spirit. And okay, that's a good one. That led me to Smells Like Teen Spirit. Because all right, they're the same, but they're very different. They're 30 years apart. The Beach Boys are riding around town with their leather sweaters, and Nirvana is, here we are, entertain us. Just a whole different world. They made a nice pair, I thought. But I try to think of different meanings of spirit, and of course one is a spirit of God. I recall in the Genesis creation story, the Spirit of God moved across the water. Well, Wade in the Water is not from Genesis, but from another story where it's an angel that moves on the water and troubles the water. But it's close enough, it's the same idea, and it's just a beautiful spiritual that is used to help bring people along the underground railway, reminding them to walk in the water so that the dogs couldn't smell them. And I don't know, then I got to thinking that there's got to be something from Aretha Franklin, because she's just so spirited. And I chose the Spirit in the Dark because it had spirit in it, and because it was hers, and could have been anything that she recorded, I think would have fit. And then all of that reminded me of Rahsaan Roland Kirk. I was a big fan of Roland Kirk, and I just sort of hadn't listened for a long time. I was introduced to Roland Kirk, I don't know, it must have been around 1968, Newport Jazz Festival. We were in high school, and there was a group, Earth, Wind, and Fire, and they were playing, and they were big at the time, and we all went, and we bought tickets, and a bunch of us went to hear Earth, Wind, and Fire. But what we couldn't understand was they weren't the top billed group. There was somebody else called Roland Kirk. And we thought, the organizers were crazy. And we got there, and Earth, Wind, and Fire was fine. They were good. And Roland Kirk comes out, and he says, you all may have had favorites before tonight, but that's all going to change right here. And by the end of the set, I was jumping up and down and dancing, and it was just such a tremendous feeling, and I followed him. The second time I saw him in concert was in the mountains in Vermont. We're in a mountain valley, seated on a hillside, an outdoor performance, and he comes out and he says, "We're going to play to the mountains. We're going to play to those mountains." And he did.
Okay,
he was just a really
we got to keep it moving on. I bet he did play to the mountains beautifully. I love the intro to this next song. We're going to get to Demo right after yours, but in the meantime, it's Blackness by Roland Kirk. Thank you very much.
Now we gathered here on the universe at this particular time, to listen to the 36 black notes of the piano. There's 36 black notes and 52 white notes. We don't mean to eliminate nothing, but we're gonna just hear the black notes at this time, if you don't mind. Blackness, B-L-A-C-K-N-U-S-S.
There you go. Thank you very much, David. Dima, sir.
Yep.
You're number 5, Northern Spirit, alias. You're number 4, The Monks of the Dipsakchok Ling Monastery, a traditional composition for Gaya Ling and Dongchin. You're number 3, probably going to have to help me pronouncing this, Otavio, Little Apple is the English translation. You're number 2. You're number 2, Louis Armstrong, When the Saints Go Marching In, the anthem of New Orleans. And you're number 1, the Gayotu Monks Tantric Choir, Mandela Offering. Tell me about it.
There is like a that's to play because it's the spirit of Russia. The songs are very complicated about rhythm. I like
Hey, Dima, you're breaking up you're breaking up very badly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play your number 1 song, and we'll get back to you to describe it, and hopefully it's cleared up by then. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll play your number 1, and we'll get to it. So your number 1, the Mandela Offering, the Gaeta Monks Tantric Choir, and we'll get back to you. So. There you go, Dima. Do we think your connection's back now?
Hey, how can you hear me? Is it okay?
Better. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I actually was asking you to play the song about Atava Yo, but it's okay. This word spirit for me is very wide and has many different meanings. There is a spirit rock in every tree.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
Dima,
also-
your connection's getting really bad. If you can write some description, we'll check it and I'll spread it out there. Yeah, sorry. Do you want to try one more? Just try quick, one more time.
Yeah, and my song from Louis Armstrong was actually to show something about music, but I didn't come with anything good. So I came up with Louis Armstrong. I have a influence Western culture on me as well. And the
it's certainly the spirit of New Orleans. I can promise you that.
And Yo is the spirit of Russia. It's like a little punk, but the lyrics are very ancient, very old, but and the music style is kind of like old punk music from deep Russia. It's kind of cool. You should check it out.
Cool. Well, people can check out the list. Let me run through my list very quickly here, and we'll finish it off. My number one song is the first track from Paul Robeson at Carnegie Hall. I love Paul Robeson. I got my fucking Paul Robeson tattoo right over there. There he is. And, he's got the spirit. Pick Jaw Wobble, somewhat out of a tribute to Alex, who's produced him before. He was in Public Image Limited. It's a very open, experimental song, very throbbing. South Bronx Community Youth Project. That's one of those almost famous DJ I don't want to say famous, but a song that got some attention a while. A high school group in the late 70s won an award, and they got to record a song at their high school. They would go to the studio and record a song, and then it was recorded and put away, and no one ever heard of it. And then I think about 10 years ago, someone rediscovered this record, and it became a big DJ thing. Number two, a group that really touches on gospel in the spirit, but also garage rock, the Gun Club, Fire Spirit. I love that group. And my number one song, we have Kyle here, and he's written an article about Mohanic. Mohanic is one of the great groups out of Mongolia, and I have to mention this because the bassist and kind of the leader of the group wrote a full breakdown of the song that I'm going to put into there. So this is an adaptation of a traditional Mongolian song, Sovdig Sovdig, and he gives a full breakdown of all the lyrics and all of the ideas behind it. Just to summarize it, he says the themes are about awakening ancient spirits, connecting the Mongolia land and nature, spiritual cleansing and confrontation, and the balance between forces. It's like a post-punk, modern post-punk classic out of Mongolia from Ohanic. Check it out. It's Spirits Rouse. And that album was recorded live at Amber by Sanglana, Great Temple in Mongolia. Thank you guys very much to all our critics for your critic list. You guys did great. Everyone was awesome. I appreciate it. Jans, Alex, thank you so much for sticking around. Really loved both of those albums. You guys were awesome. Jans has joined us before, joining the critic lists and as a critic, and it's great to have him on this side as well. And I'll mention there's a rescheduling for next week. We're going to have Russian psychobilly band Mean Traders, who started in the 90s, and they will be joining us live from St. Petersburg to talk about psychobilly. So maybe Jans will grow some hair back, even though his hairline's receding, and he can get back in the mood for that. In the meantime, if you can spread a word, post the poster, post the YouTube link. If you're in China, you can post a donation so I can pay for my fucking Jackson 45 record. And anyway, that's really it. Spread the word, tell bands, tell people. And as they say in Mongolia, Tara Ots, everyone. Take it easy. Bye-bye.